It's my pleasure.
Just tell us, this has been announced as your last tour. Is that true? Is this your last time you're on the road?
Yeah, I mean, for all intents and purposes, yes. I'm basically touring so that the band can make, to be perfectly frank, a large quantity of money. And I got a 9-year-old son right now, and I really want to spend more time with him. And I've been writing books and scripts and musicals and that sort of thing. And plus the stroke I had 2.5 years ago doesn't have me 100% healthy. And I'm really worried that if I push it, I might get another one, So with all those thoughts, I don't, and plus, I'm getting a little too old for this stuff, man. I don't want to be running around 55, 60 singing Super Freak, I just don't see that happening. Yeah, I'm looking to move towards the Caribbean. I mean, towards Tahiti. I want to get a place on the islands and kind of just chill.
Is that a place you like to frequent now? Or is that a place you like to frequent now? Go back and forth to Tahiti?
Yeah. Well, I've always wanted to, sail around Bora Bora. I've always wanted to get a yacht and just travel around Bora Bora. And
Wait, I just want to introduce Anastasia.
Hi, Anastasia.
We're bringing you honey.
No, you already brought that.
All right, that's it. We're done now.
You already brought that, baby. My dream's always been to live on an island, and I guess that's everybody's kind of fantasy in a way. A peaceful place where you can just kind of rest, man. And I mean, I'm not getting no younger, man. And I think I've done pretty much all there is I can do, and I think the legacy that I want to leave behind doesn't so much have to deal with music or the groups that I've created or the songs I've written. It has more to deal with just life's ups and downs and that sort of thing. I'm finishing up a book now called Confessions of a Super Freak, and it's going to tell a lot of things, and hopefully it helps a lot of musicians get through this music business a little easier and try to realize about drugs and the politics and the racism and what's going on in music and it has a very strong spirituality content to it. So I want to finish that book. And Suzanne DePass from Motown Records plans on turning it into a movie. So we'll see what happens.
So is there any anticipated deadline for the book at this point?
Well, I started writing it when I was locked up, in the 5 months before I actually went to the pen. And I wrote it chronologically, and I thank God for opening up, a lot of memories and things I thought really were dead. Because really, I should be brain dead after all the drugs and all the chaos that I've been through. I thank God even still being here. But hopefully the book should be out this year. Basically, all I need is the ghostwriter, which will probably use David Ritz. And he's ghostwritten such books as Marvin Gaye's Divided Soul and Brother Ray Charles. And, he's done some great work. So I'm planning to work with David.
Cool. With the writing of that book and Suzanne talking about potentially turning it into a film.
Yeah.
You mentioned scripts as well. So what are the scripts you're working on?
I'm writing a musical called Alice in Ghettoland, which I'm working with David Talbot. Let me know he is. And he's done magnificent plays, for family. And I'm ready, I've always, Alice in Ghettoland has always been in the works. I just never really got it off. And, it's integrated love stories, man, and dramas and comedies, and maybe one day I'll even, get behind the camera and direct some stuff. But after doing that movie with Eddie Murphy, Life, and Martin, I don't really think I want to pursue acting too much. It's kind of a very slow-mo, tedious affair that I really don't know if I want to go through. I gained a lot of respect for actors because of it, but I think I'd rather stay behind the camera and just kind of write films and write stories. I like to write a lot of stories about the legacy of black people, our history, I'm dealing all the way from Africa. I like to write stories all about. I like to write a lot of stories about that. I think that would give a lot of black kids and a lot of black people a lot of pride if they knew of our legacy and how powerful it is.
Are you recording?
Yes, I am. I got about 4 albums completed. I got a 20th anniversary double funk album. It's pretty much completed. And I got an acoustic album, which is more of an introspective album. It's more dealing with, things that I've gone through inside my spirit and soul, I've always wanted to do that ever since my Neil Young days, playing in Canada with Neil, and that's kind of the way he does his thing, and I've kind of done this funk thing, and it's this funk and roll thing with horns and wah-wahs and this and synthesizers. Well, this is a pretty clean album. I mean, it's not acoustic, but it's very it deals with a lot of lyrical content. And it's a very easy listening album, but it's mostly dealing with personal demons,
Are you still signed with the company from your last album?
Private Eye? No, the president went to prison for 100,000 years. No. I had an album called Urban Rhapsody that I did when I got out, and I really love that album. And for those who haven't heard it, I mean, you really should go out and get it. I mean, the critics acclaim that as probably the best album I've ever done. And it's an album that I really try to gap hip-hop and old school together and integrate the two. I think I succeeded, and unfortunately he didn't promote it, and most people didn't even know I had an album out. But it is out there, and people can pick it up, and I think it's a real good album. But no, I'm not. I just had a one album deal with them, thank God.
Cool. So are you at the point of negotiating deals, or just?
Well, there's companies that want to talk to me, but Puffy, I mean Sean and Master P and a whole lot of youngsters, they've taught me some things, and one of the things is maybe I should run my own life. Maybe I should do my own label, and maybe I should do my own thing. I've always been under the umbrella of a major company, which was Motown or Warner Brothers, and accompanying that is you have to be ready for the big ripoff, and the small percentages. If you run your own thing, you control your own destiny, your own life. So I'm kind of thinking about that. Maybe that's something that the youngsters have taught me. It's paid off very lucrative for them. So I might try it. I don't know.
Right, figured. Can you share any of the new song titles with us, and will you be doing any new songs when you go out?
You mean on the road this time? Well, we're doing a lot of new stuff that we haven't done in other tours. I don't want to expose that because then that would be getting people primed up. But like I said, on the new album, man, it's a lot of songs. Like for instance, a song called "Chasing the Rock." It talks about addiction, and a song called "Dope Dealer," and talks about the dope man, and it's really not putting him in a very good position, because basically dope dealers don't care whether you live or die, and and they're not your friends, and it's a song really about anticipation, waiting for your dope dealer. So I mean, there are songs like that on it. And then there are songs about my ex-wife. Because I'm in the middle of a divorce now, and that was a painful experience, but I'm okay from that. We got a beautiful 9-year-old son. And if you watch behind the music, our life for a while was really good. So the music I'm getting into now has more of a, like I said, an introspective look. I mean, I'm looking more deep down within Rick as opposed to just writing, "Give It To Me, Baby," "Super Freaks," and all those kind of things. I'm kind of dealing more with songs that express what's really going on inside of me.
Cool, man. You mentioned Neil Young a little while ago. Did you know he has a new album forthcoming? Do you still keep in touch with him?
No, we don't. I haven't really seen Neil, man. We haven't really talked. I heard he's got an album coming of everything in the world that he's ever written. That's going to be a hell of a catalog. And then somebody told me they found the lost tapes of me and him, which I would be really anxious to hear. But I haven't seen Neil in a while. That's another thing. I'm glad you mentioned him because he's someone I like to, before I leave this planet, I like to get together with and maybe do something with.
I was talking to a friend of mine over at Warner Brothers, and apparently he came in with like about 10 people with the new album to like just a meeting of the the powers that be over there, and didn't say any more than 10 words and just played the record and let the record speak for itself. It was just a recent.
Who, Neil? Yeah, that sounds like Neil. That sounds like that Scorpio. I mean, all that strange kind of behavior, I'm not really, into. You know what I mean? That's that Prince kind of stuff, I mean, I don't know what Neil's head is at these days and stuff, but a lot of time a record needs, a lot of times you just can't put a record on without an explanation of some sort. I mean, you just can't walk in and play something and here it is, bam, I mean, executives, you almost have to draw a perfect picture for them to really understand. Because most executives these days, and I'm sure the ones that are still at Warner Brothers, really don't have any idea what's going on in music. They have about as good as idea what's going on in music as I do. And I have no idea what's happening in music these days. And I don't understand it. I mean, I can't understand why Can't Touch This is like the biggest rap record of the world. I can't understand how Mary J. Blige can record all night long 3 different ways and sell 10 million records each time. I can understand how people can redo Mary Jane time after time after time. Jennifer Lopez and Ja Rule and sell millions of copies. I mean, it's very bizarre to me, the industry right now, and I don't really understand a lot of the things that are going on musically. I think one of the reasons why a lot of youngsters are sampling so much and taking from the old school so many rhythms and defined melodies and beats and stuff is because basically the government is taking musical theory and harmony and lessons and instruments out of schools. So they're working with the best they can. And it's a shame because, black music is now stagnated like never before. And whites are pretty well taking over R&B. Your NSYNC, your Backstreets, and all, your Britney Spears and all this, and it's a shame. The good thing about it is that my Latino brothers and sisters have finally come into play, your Mark Anthony's and so on, doing some great things. But right now you got a lot of white groups still doing the black thing, and it's kind of made black music obsolete in a lot of ways. I mean, all we seem to be able to get away with right now is rap, and I think that's a shame.
Yeah, it's interesting. Just a lot of stuff that gets played today or gets through today as far as music is concerned, stuff that people would have ignored 20 years ago.
Oh, totally, man. I mean, ignored. It wouldn't have been. Ignoring is a mild word. I mean, I don't even think we would have thought about it. I mean, I heard a girl named Andrea, and I really like what she's doing, And then I hear Alicia Keys, and I'm not putting Alicia Keys down. And I mean, I guess she's okay for what she does, but I mean, people should listen to Rochelle Farrell and Layla Hathaway. These two ladies write and sing and play piano, and will move your soul. Okay, they will move your soul. And I want my soul moved. You know what I'm saying? I don't just want to be tickled. I want to be touched. I want to be caressed. I want my soul to be like, fondled, man, and I want something to happen. I want to go through an experience. When I hear Rochelle Farrell play and sing, that's what I go through. When I hear Layla Hathaway or Tina Marie, When I hear what's your name? Alicia Keys. I see a youngster that has ability, but it just has a nurture to where it's to me to where it's really at that point where it grabs me. You know, but God bless her, you know.
Yeah, because certainly, you know, she was one of the more outstanding things that came out last year, but she's, you know, still developing.
Yeah, but I mean, with Rochelle Farrell is prime, and where the hell is she at? And Layla Hathaway. See, this is all. And Clive Davis has a way of doing something with acts that's great. But I mean, you got a lot of these acts. Tina Marie is unheard of, and virtually this white girl is probably the greatest white R&B, one of the greatest whites of all time, and writers and producers. You know, I mean, you put Madonna and all these girls on the same stage with her, and she'll blow them off, blow them off the map. But and not putting Madonna down. Madonna has her little inch in the business, but I mean, talent is talent, man, and you know, you can fake the funk all you want and fabricate and you know and all this, but the real's gonna come out when you hit that stage. That's when it's showtime.
Right. I got to see Tina last year at the Essence Music Festival. Have you been in contact with her?
Yeah, we've been talking about, you know, getting back together because, you know, I feel it's almost as much as me and her are very volatile, both of us in our temperaments, and we go up and down. I think it's mandatory, man, that we give people want the old school again for some reason, man. I mean, the largest radio stations in the country are old school. I mean, what does that tell you? I mean, the PT1 stations and the stations that report and the stations that are really strong are old school stations. Stations that play nothing but old school. And I think that's it's miraculous in a way, but it tells you that people really are, you know, are tired of a lot of garbage music. You got some young guys out there doing some great things, man. You got Maxwell, who I love. I think Maxwell has very strong potential, man, and what he does, and D'Angelo, and you got some great guys out there, you know. And then you got a lot of people out there fabricating, you know, and sounding like each other, and you know, all doing the same kind of thing, and sounding the same kind of way, you know, and it's really leaving black music at a standstill. When in the old days, our main thing was to take black music to the highest height we could, and to give people strong lyrical content, and give people strong beat and rhythm. And that's still my mandate. And it will always be. I'm always going to stay down for the real.
We heard some words out of Mary's camp, but not so much from you in regards to recreation of our new Mary Jane girls. Is that true? Have you been talking to her in that regard?
Well, right now, you got JoJo. There's a girl named JoJo who's one of the singers of the Mary Jane Girls, running around the country with a couple strippers or whatever, saying she's this is the Mary Jane Girls, which is a terrible thing because she's contractually doing something that is wrong, and it's going to catch up to her eventually. She's not supposed to be doing what she's doing out there, and I don't bless it at all. There's 3 other girls that are suffering. The Mary Jane Girls was never one girl. I mean, it's 4 girls: Maxie, Candy, JoJo, and Corvette. And that's what the Mary Jane Girls, not just JoJo running around, you know. And her and her husband running around here acting a fools, and they're the Mary Jane Girls, and they're on contract, you know, that's all wrong. Karma will take care of that, you know. I'll leave that in God's hands. What Mary wanted to do was put a young girl group together of some great talent, 17, 18, 19-year-old girls, and call like Mary Jane Girls 2000, because she loved the Mary Jane Girls, and having her name be Mary Jane, you know, Mary Jane Blige is complimentary to that. So she wants the legend to live on, and she feels that if the other girls can't come together, well, you know, she wants to just keep it going, and I'm all with that. I don't know what's going to happen. She's getting her camp together. MCA gave her a very lucrative deal and a lot of money for her label, and she's cleaning up her camp. So when she finishes cleaning up, I'm sure she'll be ready to get out of business, and we'll handle our business.
Cool. So you're going to be working with her on that when that comes to fruition?
Yeah, I'll be working with her on it. I don't know how much I'll be working with her on it. Hopefully, maybe I'll write 1 or 2 songs and maybe help her pick out the girls. But she's going to do a cross-country call, kind of like what they did with the Spice Girls. Mary Jane Girls is a great concept, man, and you know, I must say, you know, they had some great music. You know, not putting myself on any pedestal or anything, but I mean, All Night Long still stands in my house. I mean, those songs still stand up, and it's been close to 20 years, and those songs are still standing. So, you know, when a song stands, that tells you what time it is.
Do you know how many times All Night Long has been sampled?
Man, I couldn't even. Man, I'm telling you, that's the wonderful thing. And each time someone does it, I know Mary Jane's done it at least 2 or 3 times, and I think Erykah Badu and some other people, but they just changed the bass line a little bit. I mean, they always pay. You know, they always negotiate the deal with my administrator. I think there are a lot of people out there that think MC Hammer ripped me off or whatever. That's not the case. MC Hammer ripped himself off. And he paid Rick. I was paid very well for Can't Touch This. His only problem was his karma. You know, you don't make a lot of money and then buy helicopters and guns for the Oakland police. And I think that probably hurt him more than anything. You know, going against his own people. But hey, he that's something he has to deal with.
Talk about working with Mariah Carey recently for her project.
Oh, Mariah was a lot of fun, man. Now, Mariah is another one who's a great, great talent. And I worked on her Glitter album. We weren't close when I worked. I mean, in other words, we weren't like you and I sitting across from each other. Matter of fact, she was in Italy or Rome or someplace. And we were doing the record really long distance. And she loves the Mary Jane Girls, and she loved Val Young. And she pretty well was a fan of the whole Rick James family. And we met, and, you know, we liked each other. And she said she was doing this movie, and I wrote this song. And she wanted a song that had the 80s groove to it with a 90s edge. So I wrote this song for her called All About Life. And the critics acclaimed it as the best song on the soundtrack. Unfortunately, the movie didn't do that well. But it was a thrill working with her. And she's a very great talent and a great lady.
Have you been working with any other artists as of late, or has anybody reached out to you for a collaboration?
There's a 20-year-old white girl I'm working with who spits rhyme and raps probably better than most people I've heard. And can out-dance, I don't know, everybody, and sings. She's a true miracle, and God brought her into my life. I think she's going to be stronger than Tina, you know, or than a lot of girls out there. You know, somebody needs to take the edge off Britney Spears and all these other fake, girls out there doing this fabricated fake bubblegum funk, you know. And her name is Rain, and that's R-A-Y-N-E, and I think you're going to be hearing a lot from her. We probably pretty well cut her album. So she's due out probably this year. And I got some other young producers that have written a lot of stuff for her. So, and she's very, very strong. And she's like a little rebel, but she's down. Pretty as can be.
What's some other music out there that you're feeling right now? Other artists that work. You mentioned D'Angelo and Maxwell.
Well, I mean, I've been getting her album and loving that. Of course, I love Lauren, you know. And I love what Missy's doing, you know. I mean, I like Scarface and Rapid Forte and Snoop when he's doing the right thing, you know, talking the right stuff, and Dre and all of them, you know. It's just that I'm very against negative rap, you know. I'm very against, brothers and sisters using that N-word, throwing that N-word around like it's some kind of pleasurable thing. And that B-word, you know. I'm just really not into that, you know. But I mean, I guess if they call themselves spokesmen for the ghetto, and if they call that they're the pioneers of front or forerunners of what the ghetto mind is thinking, then I think they really need to check themselves. Because to me, all that does is take us back years and years and years. You know, especially when they're saying the N word and they really, you know, it has nothing to do with ignorance or black people or anything at all. They need to really know what the meaning is. Really, it's the Swahili word that means foul fish, nigger. And it's not even in Webster's book. It's in the world translation. And, you know, so you got people running around. We used to use it as a word of endearment to each other. And whites took it as a derogative thing. So, I mean, you got people running around saying a lot of words they don't understand and trying to be hip and fly and cool. You know, and, hey, I don't know, you know, it's like, I don't know where we're going with all this, you know. I mean, it's certainly not helping us. You know, it's certainly not helping us to see a white boy or a white girl standing on a corner yelling the N-word, yo, my, you know, what's up, man, you know, man, is it, you know, and all this, you know. I mean, I don't find that fly, personally. Ain't nothing fly in that. And there ain't nothing fly in the fact that Tupac isn't here anymore. Ain't nothing fly that Biggie ain't here no more. Ain't nothing fly that Slick Rick was locked up and put in prison. Ain't nothing fly that Sean had a shooting at us. I mean, there's nothing fly with all the violence going on between us. You know, we have to become a peaceful nation again. And we have to get out of this ridiculousness. You know, before we kill each other off. They won't have to. We'll do it ourselves, and we seem to be doing a good job.
Thoughts on Outkast, the group Outkast.
I haven't really heard much of Outkast. I can't really speak on Outkast. I like Roots, Tribe Called Quest. Like I said, I don't come into contact with a lot of them. My daughter, Ty James, has a rap album coming out, and it's a very positive, powerful album. I really don't have anything to do with that. She just asked me one day, Daddy, can I use the studio? I said, sure, baby, go on. And she had some young producers. Next thing I know, they was funking it. And her melodies and her lyrics are fantastic, and her content is strong, you know. Songs like, you know, women who are being taken care of by men, they really better check themselves and who really doing who on this. I mean, she's got a lot of powerful stuff. And her name is Ty James, and I think people better get ready for her.
Do we know when that's coming out?
Well, she hasn't had a deal yet, but Sean has been talking to her. Puffy's been talking to her, and there are a lot of other people that are interested in her. All I try to do is just tell her the pitfalls and try to direct her in the right place, you know. Because I don't think there's going to be any doubt she's going to be a very viable and strong artist out there. Not that she's my daughter, but for the fact is the way she carries herself and what she's talking. And she's a beautiful girl, too. And she's spitting it. And that's funk. She got Tina on a couple tracks. And I'll probably be on a track or so with her. But she'll have some OGs playing with her. But she got it going on.
Cool, man. You mentioned your stroke early on in the interview. Just if you would, you mind talking about your recovery and like how when she became to a point of being able to use your faculties again?
Well, it took me. The stroke happened about almost 3 years ago in Denver, and a lot of people think drugs had something to do, but I wasn't even doing drugs at the time. And I broke 2 blood vessels in the back of my neck. I was in the hospital 7 months. It took me 5 months of rehab just to learn how to walk and write my name again. And I'm not 100% by any means. I would say I'm about 65. Because the right side of me is still a little, you know, frozen, and my balance isn't that great. I thanks to all the prayers, all the intercession that came through, you know, to help me where I am now. But yeah, it was a wake-up call. You know, sometimes you got to be really silent to hear what Allah has to say to you, you know. And you got to be really just, and I think that was like a warning and a time for me to listen. And I did. So, you know, my life has basically been, I appreciate every day that I wake up. You know, there's a saying in what I believe in called being taqwa, and that is being God conscious. And I'm that every day. I thank God every day that I wake up, man, for for everything that I have. But yeah, I am feeling better, and I am getting on better, and but one never knows.
Right. So you got 2 nights at BB King's. Do you know how many shows we have mapped up for the entire run right now at this point?
Right now, we're just doing spot dates. I think a lot of promoters are still in question of whether I'm alive or dead. I think people think I'm like dead or something, you know. I think they're waiting to see if I'm going to, continue and see how my health is. A lot of people are laying in wait. I think after New York, that wait will be over. We've done about 7 or 8 days, and they're all fantastic. So now we come home, and I'm home now, back to the motherland. And the group is tighter than it's ever been, and we're playing just, we got a couple added members who are just outstanding, and there's still a party going on, and it's still the same old thing. If you don't come to the party, keep your dead butt home, that's what it's at.
With new members, guys, I guess who don't know, I can't imagine not being there. Danny's going to still be out with you on the road.
Yeah, Danny's sick right now. He's back in L.A. But Val Young is with us, and, Morrissey and Johnny Bone, and most of the crew. It's a very tight group, and it's still a family. We're still a family. And we still, funkin' and rolling, hard. And it's still one of the greatest funk and roll bands of all time. And I think when people come on the next 2 nights, they're going to see that.
Do you have a set, or do you just kind of get on the stage and just start jamming?
We have a set, but we improv and change it up. That's one good thing about us. We don't really never do the same thing twice, or do it the same way.
How many pieces on stage?
I would say I think about 11 right now. We usually have 14 or so. We kind of broke it down, But we kind of broke it down.
And where do we hit after New York?
Well, we go to we're doing the Sunfest, and we're doing some gigs in I don't even know because they're coming in so quick. Every day there's something new added on, a new city. Hopefully, Fire Lake was there and they can build it up because this is going to be a world tour, and we'll probably be out for 8 or 9 months. And we'll go to Africa and South America and all the places that I've never been, and that's what this tour is about. Just for our family to get together and just travel and have a good time and see the world.
You talked about Ty James a little while ago, your daughter. Your son is 9 years old. Do you see any artistic expressions in him already?
Yeah, he has perfect pitch and perfect memory. He can remember a lyric after hearing one time a song. But he's an artist and an athlete. He's an excellent artist. He's in 3rd grade, but he paints and draws at a 9th grade level. And I was an artist originally, and my brother. So I figured that. He likes sports like I do. He's playing basketball and soccer and ice skating. He's a regular little guy, Whether he's going to choose music, I don't know. I don't force anything down him. Whatever he likes. He's a good kid.
I had the fortune to meet you the first time when you had your return show at the House of Blues in L.A.
Right.
You came up there and on my own dime because I wanted to talk to you, and I was working with this other company at that particular time. And it was just a great set seeing you out there and seeing you perform and all that good stuff. I mean, I had seen you previously at the Garden, back in the day with my cousin. I don't even know what the picture is right now, but we emulate your style and our dress with the show. And then I saw you at the Apollo when you were with Warner Brothers.
Yeah. Yeah.
In regards to some of the older tunes, if we can just kind of, if I could just kind of get some evergreen statements from you for some of the classic hits. Just kind of, if you would, tell us how that song came to be, or some of the around that song.
I don't know. Mary Jane is a song about marijuana. It's kind of like a love song to marijuana. And I just wanted to You know, I love the English language, and I love using innuendos and entendres and stuff like that. And Mary Jane is all about marijuana, and it's like a love affair, kind of. Cold Blooded was written about Linda Blair, and Ghetto Life was an autobiographical tune about being, born in the ghetto. Give to Me Baby is about coming home all coked out and drunk with your woman, and you can't get things to rise properly, and you can't make love, and you're trying, and you fail, I think, and most of us have been there. Fire Desire was written about a girl, an Ethiopian girl that I met in Paris, who I fell in love with. And a lot of people think it was written about Tina, but it wasn't. Below the Funk is the song telling all the people in my home, player haters in my hometown, they can kiss it. The ones that call me a faggot, and all my girlfriends, we laugh at it, and there was a song going, check me out now. Everything I write pretty well deals with. My house was for the Mary Jane girls. My house was about a vagina. We slipped that one through on them. And well, you can guess what the key that unlocks the door is. That they kind of coincides with one. And I try to write things that I know about. I can't write about things that I don't know about. George Clinton writes a lot of sci-fi and stuff, and George reads about 4 or 5 books, sci-fi books a week. So he's down with that. But I can't write that kind of stuff. I got to write stuff that's real to me, stuff that actually happens to me, stuff that I live, that I go through, and I keep it real.
One of your all-time hits, "You and I can remember being.
You and I was written about my first wife and breaking up with her. Her name was Kelly, and that was probably the first upbeat love song I ever wrote. And I wrote it upbeat because I was scared to write a slow love song because I didn't really know what love was. And so I wrote You and I. But after breaking up with her, that's when I found out what love was. So I was able to write love ballads. I couldn't write them before because I never really experienced love. But after breaking up with her, I felt the pain of it, And I hid it with You and I because it was just it was up-tempo thing. But then again, I was able to tune in on my heart, And I think once you tune in on your heart, there's, you can express anything. I'm not so much macho, mono, where if I feel like crying or tears or whatever, I express my emotions, I don't hide it. I don't think one should. Most men do. I think they think that makes them a man or something. To me, it makes them a fake. But, I'm a very sensitive, emotional person, and if something, I see a beauty, I can see a picture, man, and bring tears to my eyes, or a movie, Brian's song still brings tears to my eyes, that movie, and Glory. So, that's what You and I was about.
I was going to say that some people still had. I remember being in the car with some folks through the past year, and I was singing along with the chorus, and some people still didn't realize, like how you were saying, how you were able to slip things through as far as the words are concerned and how you expressed them. The part where you said, some people think I'm infatuated. I don't care because they really don't know. As far as I'm concerned, they often go to hell.
Yeah.
So I was singing that, and somebody was like, "Is that what they're saying?" And it's like, I said, "Yeah, you did know that." It's like,
Yeah. Well, it was an integrated love affair, number one. And, people used to talk. And, as far as we were concerned, me and her, they could all go to hell, because they didn't know what was going on behind closed doors. And we cared for each other. And then you had songs like Hollywood, me telling my mother, I was going to go to Hollywood and make it, and Sexy Ladies, about hoes, grew up around pimps and hoes. And Mr. Policeman was a story about a friend of mine who got shot and being in the wrong place at the wrong time. I don't know.
and Dreammaker was on that same album as far as love songs. That's still like one of my all-time favorites.
Yeah, Dreammaker was a very kind of a fantastical love song. It was kind of a very ethereal love song. Sometimes I get a little over romantic, and I love monologues. I love to write poetry, and I love to speak it. And Dreammaker gave me that opportunity. But you know, the lyrical content of it was, you know, really, when you care for somebody, there ain't nothing you won't do, you know. I mean, you get on your knees, you do whatever you got to do. It's like you ain't too proud to beg. I mean, you know, if I want you to stay, girl, I mean, I'm going to do what I got to do. Okay, as long as I got to do it. Any way you want me to do it.
Just talk a little bit about that, about working with the Temptations and Smokey Robinson.
Oh, those are the greatest thrills of my life. You know, see, God has been so good to me. I've had so many great opportunities to work with. I think Smokey, Ebony Eyes sang with Smokey was, you know, when I wrote Ebony Eyes, I just wanted someone who sang great ballads to sing with me. Me and him were hanging pretty close, and we're pretty close as friends. And I asked him, and he sang it with me. And that was a song in to black women. It's dedicated to black women, totally. And the Temptations Standing on the Top was a song that really turned around and kind of fit me more than them, but it was like, you know, it was just saying, you know, when you're on the top, man, you're a duck, you know, and everybody's going to shoot at you. And it only lasts so long. You got to come down. If you don't believe me, ask Michael or Prince or anybody else. Everybody gets their day. So, and that was a great experience because I work with all 7 Temps, and it's the only record where all 7 Temps are singing together. And I have the only video where all 7 Temps are on. There's no other song where 2 of them sing on one song, 3 or 4, but that's the only song where all 7 of them are on, and it's very special.
With writing and everything as late and wonderful poetry, have you considered a book of poetry?
No, not of poetry, because I'm not that good a poet. I'm only write prose and lyrics. I mean, stuff like songs. But Confessions of a Super Freak, the book, the autobiography that I have coming out, has a lot of different things in it. So, you know, that's my answer to that. Writing that was very therapeutic because it gave me a chance to go a lot of different directions. I mean, I'm not just good at sitting and writing. Although I like poetry, the kind of poetry that I write, I don't think it's conducive really for people. You know, it's more in a lyrical phrase. It's more for lyrics, you know. Tina Marie's more of a poet than I am, and people like Bernie Taupin and stuff like that, you know. I wish I could write like them, you know. Tina's really good poetess. I mean, she's like Maya Angelou or Nikki Giovanni or somebody. I'm more a lyricist. And I guess lyrics are poetry, you know, you might say.
When you're considering the span of your career, your life at this point, creating the enigma of Rick James today, would you consider yourself to be an L7 as Calvin wrote this at this point in time?
L7 as far as what?
Would you think of yourself as an L7, you know, from the man you once were who created the enigma of Rick James to the man you are today?
I'm the father of the show. I'm the forerunner. They talking about Endo, I call it Mary Jane. They talking about this, I call it ghetto life. I was talking about pimps and hoes and Macs and players, and before they even knew what they were. They were in their diapers. But I was also talking about ICBMs and MXR missiles and where they dump nuclear waste. They don't talk about that because they don't know it. I was talking about how we have more MXR missiles on this planet, in this country, over 10,000. I was talking about how atomic waste is dropped in black ghettos. Sing songs about that. I don't hear any rappers singing songs about that. So I was more, I did more than just write funk and stuff. I mean, classical, jazz, and blues, Indian music, Brazilian music. No, you know what? If I'm considered L7, then L7 is hip. Then it's hip to be square. But I done forgotten more games than most of these youngsters know. You know what I'm saying? I done forgot more game than most of them know. I done smoked more herb. If they were hanging out at the time when we were doing it, they'd be dead. Okay? I was in Europe at 19, pimping and macking. I don't know what they talking about, you know. My mother ran numbers for the numbers racket for the mafia. My whole family has been in the game. But there's one thing I don't do. I don't shoot my brothers. And I don't pull my pants down below my ass. For what reason, I don't know. So if I'm L7, then it's hip to be square.
I was talking to a friend of mine from Buffalo, the Mitchell family, not too long ago. I told him that I was going to be talking to you today, and he told me to just send you love and give you regards. So.
Oh, you send it right on back, man, because, right now, my age, man, is like, I look at all these things. Everything going on right now is so redundant to what we did, you know. To me, the Ohio players and George Clinton and all of us, man, we look back and we just laugh, you know. I mean, a lot of them really think, you know, I mean, I just found out that Brown Sugar by D'Angelo was about weed. And I smiled because he really got over on me. I thought it was about a girl, you know. And I got to tell D, that was very smart, very slick, D. Yeah, just because we ain't talking about back that ass up or yo my whatever, yo my figure and all this other kind of crap. Yeah, maybe does that make us not hip? I was drinking Cristal when they was drinking Kool-Aid out of roach infested peanut butter jars. Don't talk to me about what is hip.
Yeah, Mr. George Clinton, have the two of you ever talked about doing music together? Or have you ever recorded stuff together?
No, never. Me and George stay in our own groove, and I won't. No need to. Me and him, like, George is on one thing, I'm on another, man. And if and the twain shall not meet. I mean, if they do, fine. That's like me and Prince working together. It'll never happen, as far as I'm concerned. And if it does, it's a God plan, because me and Prince just don't see eye to eye as people, as humans, as men. I love George. George loves me. We get together, we laugh, and we joke. But we don't ever talk about working together because I got my own thing. He's got his own thing. And we both got our own egos. And it would be fun one day to maybe cut something with George. But, George is involved with some things I really don't really want to go near, I'm trying to keep my life real clean, as I can. And some things, don't change, if you know what I'm saying. So I kind of stay away from certain elements, and there's a lot of people that I would love to work with. I love to work with Missy one day, and I love to work with, there's a lot of people out there I love to work with, who I think are great, and like I said, there's a lot of youngsters out there really doing some great things. And then there's a gang I'm out there doing a bunch of nothing. And to me, so what? You make $1 million, $10 million, so what? You can't take it with you.
Just in closing, some of your favorite things. What are some of your favorite movies?
I love classical music, man. I love classical music. Vivaldi, Tchaikovsky, Chopin. I love that kind of stuff, man. Rachmaninoff. I love jazz, man. Deep jazz. McCoy Tyner, Stanley Turrentine, Sonny Rollins, John Coltrane, Miles. I love that kind of stuff, man. MJQ. Billie Holiday, Dakota Stanton, Della Reese. Arthur Price Talk. I'm into that. I love some country and western, man. I love Dolly Parton. I love Shania Twain. I love Brazilian music, Milton Nascimento. I love African music, man. I love it all, man. Rabbi Shankar, Indian music, Jean-Pierre Rampal.
How about film? Some of your favorite movies that you've seen?
I love Matrix. And like I said, Glory. I like monster movies. Like Dracula, Bram Stoker's Dracula. I love that. I really thought that was cool.
With Gary Oldman, that one?
Yeah, that was hot. And Matrix was pretty fly. And I read a lot of Anne Rice books, so I'm looking forward to seeing Queen of the Dam with Aaliyah, which is the sad thing because she had a lot of talent. And God, there's so there's a gang of them out there that I really like.
How about food? Favorite food?
I love sushi, and of course, like soul food. I got to have it. I got to have soul food, man. Just to keep it intact. What's going on? I got to have me some cornbread and some crackling cornbread and some collard mustard greens, and candy yams. I got to have it, and my cook does it all. And I like Italian food too. I love pasta and lasagna and fettuccine and manigot. I love that stuff. I love Indian food. I love curry food. I am just an addict for everything, man. I got an addictive nature, man. And when it comes, I love Thai food. I'll eat the hell out of some sushi.
With the stroke, did your diet have to change tremendously at all, or just?
Well, but I went against everything the doctor said. I mean, the doctor told me I can't have salt, and I'm right there. He's in trouble. And milk, I love milk, man. And no coffee. Oh my God! I mean, come on. I love cappuccino. Yeah, me and him had a lot of arguments about stuff, man. It's only God can predict, man, I got that kind of nature, man. Like I said, it's all due to a lot that I'm still here, Yeah, me and the doctor, we really had our fights. As far as he was concerned, I'd be just eating chicken with no salt and no nothing on it, and that'd be it. With some broccoli. Okay? But I eat to this day, man, I eat. I've been eating today, and I'm hungry. I was just over with George Wallace and I'm doing the show, and they had waffles with chicken, and he had it in his hand. I took it out of his hand and ate it up. But I love food, and like I said, I have a very addictive nature when it comes to everything. I mean, that's my sexuality. But I've learned how to tune down and kind of calm myself. I'm not as young as I used to be, man, by no means. And it does wear on you, And right now, like I said, man, I'm more or less now trying to make up for a lot of things. And I'm just loving God for just keeping me alive. And I'm really just trying to get a message to my people, man, to stop this nonsense, and make money and share and open doors for people. But, stop with the player hating stuff and stop with all the crap, Do music, man, and take it to the limit.
Thanks a lot, man. Anything you want to add?
No, man, it's just it's time. I think by the signs and revelations that we've seen in the last year, I think it's time for everybody, man, especially us to really become aware of God and to become aware that we got to start loving each other, man, and loving this planet a little more. I feel big changes coming on, and I think black people need to just show some unification. And I agree with Louis Farrakhan when he says it's a sad thing that a race with so much history and such a strong legacy are so undivided. I would love to see us, just love each other a little more, man, and know a little bit more about where we come from. Because if you don't know where you're coming from, you damn sure don't know where you're going. That's all I gotta say. And peace out.
All right, thanks, man.
My pleasure, man.